Hello yogis, my name is Debbie Lash and I'm your yoga teacher for today. Please subscribe if you haven't already and remember to click the bell and that will alert you every time a new class drops from me. Today's practice is going to be 45 minutes. It's a level 1 beginner's class. Remember, you are your best teacher, so take breaks when you need it, listen to the body. Any kind of acute or electrical pain in your knees or your hips is your body telling you that it doesn't like it. So back off out of the pose. And remember, child's pose is where you go to just to take a moment, take a time out. Okay, let's get started. If you've got a set of blocks, wonderful. If you don't worry about it. But I would definitely consider investing into a pair of blocks if you're going to spend more time practicing at home and online. So we're going to start seated in a cross-seated position. This is called Sukhasana and it means easy seat. Before we get started, I want to teach you about the breath, because if we're not breathing consciously, then we're not doing yoga. So the breath of the practice is called Ujjayri Breath, and it means the victorious breath, and it heats the body from the inside out. And it's wonderful for moving stuck or stagnant energy in the lower belly, and just, trapped energy, and really just starts to warm the body up. So the way that I teach this is just bring your hand up alongside your face, and then you imagine that you've got a pair of sunglasses or a mirror and you're fogging up the mirror. So so it's that ha in the back of the throat. And that is the same on the inhale, but don't inhale too much because you'll start to cough. So it's and then we just gently close the lips down and it's the same. So it's a soft whisper in the back of the throat. So just stay with the breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. My kids think it sounds a little bit like Darth Vader. It actually sounds like, to me, when someone's about to drop into a big, deep sleep and they're starting to go and the breathing gets heavy. So this is your Ujjayri breath. And it wants to be audible so you can listen and learn. And at any point you can come back to just to re-establish it, because what happens is that the breath falls away and then the mind wakes up and pulls you out of the practice. And this will happen throughout the practice, all the way through, pretty much. You're in it, and we create windows of stillness throughout the practice, and the more that we're aligned with the breath, the longer those windows are going to last for. Okay, so staying in your cross-seated position, notice which leg is in front, and we're just going to start to make some nice circular movements. That's it. Just stirring it up. Find the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Wow. So this is really nice just to get the movement of the belly going, opening the hips. And when you're ready, pause at the top. And other way. Just unwind it. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. And last cycle of breath here, pause and hold. And inhale, both thumbs up, breathe in. Imagine you've got a block between the palms. Even if you've got a block at home, squeeze your palms into the block. Don't know what I've got there. Oh, a little spider. Hopefully that's good luck. And exhale, forward fold and bow. Just place the block down, bring the hands down. Sit bones are pressing down. As soon as you feel those sit bones lift, You've gone too far, so walk the hands back. Inhale, lift the chest. Tiptoe the hands forward. Some of you might be all the way up here, and that's fine. You're just landing wherever you land. Some of you who've been practicing or have got a little bit more mobility in your lower back and your hips and your hamstrings are going to be down a little lower. But just land wherever you land. Tuck the chin to the chest. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. 3 more cycles of breath, just like this. And this can feel very intense in some people's bodies. When you're quite new to yoga or you haven't practiced for a long time, you get a lot of people feel a lot going on in their wrists and their ankles and the tops of the feet. So just notice where you're getting and feeling some sensations. And walking the hands back. Inhale, both arms up. Doesn't matter if you can't lift your hands as high as me, even out on a diagonal. And we're taking a twist to the right. Exhale. So we're using the hands like levers. So the hands pressing into the thigh. My back hand, you could have your hand on a block if you can't touch the floor, or a book or a cushion. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, rotate. So we're neutralizing the spine here. 4 more cycles of breath. Remember to come back into that Ujjayri breath. And it's hard to breathe when you're in the twist because you're twisting your diaphragm. So it's hard to breathe, but what this does is a lot of benefits for your respiratory system. And inhale, come back through center. Change the cross of the legs. So the other leg is in front. Cross the legs at the shins if you can. Don't worry if you're crossing the legs at the ankles. It's all good. You're just really noticing where your boundaries and your limits are. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, forward fold. So you land wherever you land. And you're just going to create space in the body. That's it. Notice what's happening in the back of the back of the neck. Quite often, if you're looking at a screen, your chin's going to be lifted. But we just soften the chin towards the chest so you find this delicious space in the back of the neck. So both sides of the neck along, roll the shoulders down and away from the ears. Inhale here. And maybe you can create a bit more space in the body by tiptoeing the hands forward. Think about what's touching the floor, so the sides of your feet. So press down your buttocks and the backs of the thighs. So press down to inhale, lift, and maybe you can get a little bit more space here. That's it. 2 more cycles of breath. You're doing so well. Remember, the most important part of the whole practice is the breath. So if you're not consciously breathing, I hate to tell you, but you're not really doing yoga. So yoga is the breath. Walking the hands back. Inhale, both arms up. Take a twist to the left. Exhale, work the hand into the thigh. Inhale, lift. Exhale, rotate. And you might notice on this side, you can rotate a little deeper. And the practice is just about noticing how your body feels. And obviously we always do the pose on the right side first and then the left. One hip is always stronger in your balancing poses. And noticing what's happening in your hips. There might be something going on in the shoulders. So just tune in. 1 more cycle of breath wherever you are. And when you're ready, come back through center. Some of you might be able to rock forward onto the hands and knees, but a nice way is swing the legs back and come onto the hands and knees this way. Shoulders over the wrist, tops of the feet, and there's a space between your knees. Lift your back ribs up. This is cat pose. Good, just stay right here. Inhale, heart lifts. So a little arch in my back. Exhale, round and round. Inhale, heart lifts, breathing in. Lips closed, exhale, round. 3 more. And last one. Round and round. This time we're stretching out the wrists by spinning the hands around the outside so the fingers are facing the knees. And then just pedal it through. Around the outside. And some people's hands might feel better if they're only turning halfway. So we're just stretching the wrist. You know, if you're suffering with carpal tunnel or RSI, but we're all texting and on our computers a lot more than we ever have been. So it's really good to just stretch the ligaments, lift the back ribs up. Take cat-cow again, 5 cycles with the fingers facing the knees. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, round. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, round. Last 2. Last one. Spin the fingers facing forward. Step the right foot between the hands. And again, if you need and you have blocks at home, this is a great idea. And the blocks, bring the floor to the hands. So just look at your bottom knee and just tuck the toe under and slide it back. And you'll just get a bit more of a deeper stretch into the left thigh. Inhale, lift the chest. Some of you are going to keep your hands on blocks. Some of you might have cupcake fingers on the floor. Some of you might feel ready to bring the hands and walk them up to the thigh. Good, inhale here. And then exhale, so just check your alignment, knee over the ankle. Roll the shoulders down, lift the chest. 3 more cycles of breath. And I'm hugging my right hip back to that left heel. 1 more cycle of breath here. And both hands to the floor. Taking a twist. If you've got a block, you can put a block underneath the left hand. Otherwise, hand to the floor, right arm up. That's it. Keep the back knee down. Maybe circle your top wrist both ways. And point and flex. We're going to take the arm up and over. That's it. Stay right here. Squeeze and firm the buttocks into the midline so you feel your lower back lengthen any amount. And inhale, top arm up. Exhale, hand to the floor. And step the foot back. Good. Left knee, left foot forward. Inhale, lift the chest. Tuck the back toe, slide your right knee back a little, and stay here. Some of you hands on the floor, some of you hands on blocks, some of you are going to walk the hands to the thigh. Inhale, you just feel this delicious stretch through that right hip as you hug the left hip back to your right heel. Inhaling here and exhaling here. 2 more cycles of breath. How's that Ujjayri breath going? And 1 more cycle of breath. Inhale, hands to the floor. Tuck the back toe under. We're going to step into downward facing dog. So we're going to step back into plank pose. And then we lift up. And your knees could be on the floor here if you need to. And then up and back, downward facing dog. So have a look at your feet and make sure they're hips distance. If your hamstrings are very tight, you're going to take your feet nice and wide and you're going to put a bend into your knees. And then a lot of us want to walk our hands back because we feel like getting the heels down is very important. But it's not the case. We want to walk the hands forward so we get length in our spine. And then lift your ears so they're in line with your biceps. And inhale, lift both heels high. Exhale, press the heels down, just stretching the feet. Inhale in the ankles. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And then we're going to walk to the top of the mat. Inhale, exhale, bend the knees, and just walk to the top. You might be on cupcake fingers, hands on the shins. Pull the chest forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Last one here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And clasp the hands to the elbow and stay here. This is stretching your hamstrings. So if you need support here, generously bend your knees and bring your thighs, your belly onto your thighs, your ribs onto the thighs. And then when you want to work a little deeper into the hamstrings, you lift your knees and your thighs up, your thigh muscles up towards your hips. Change the hook of the elbows. And some people like to subtly just move the head, like you're nodding the head. Yes, Debbie. Turning the head, no. And when you're ready, release the hands down and just gently rolling yourself all the way up. Roll the shoulders down. Step the feet together. Beautiful. Hands at prayer. Inhaling, sweeping both arms up. Exhale, bend the knees as you forward fold and bow. Feet at hips distance. Inhale, half lift. Step back into plank pose. Your knees could be up or down. Let's just drop the knees here. Inhale, lift the chest. We're lowering all the way down onto the floor. Exhale, lower. Point the toes, slide the hands back. Low cobra, squeeze the elbows in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Come back up onto the knees. Inhale, plank. Tuck the toes. Lift up and back. Downward facing dog. 3 cycles of breath. So this is a sun salutation, Surya Namaskara A. 1 more cycle of breath. Let's breathe together, inhaling through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees. Walk your feet up towards your hands. Hands on the shins, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold and bow. Pressing down, sweeping the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands at prayer. Let's take 1 more round. Inhale, arms up. Empty the belly of breath. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale. If you've got lower back issues, keep the knees bent at all times. Plank pose. Exhale, drop the knees, lower all the way down. Low cobra, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Keep the knees on the floor. Inhale, plank. Tuck the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful work, yogis. Take an inhaling through the nose. If you want to pedal through the feet, you can. Exhaling here. Inhale, high tippy toes. Exhale, bend the knees. Walk the feet up towards the hands. Inhale, high, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Pressing down through the feet. Arms up. Exhale, hands at prayer. Step long ways on your mat. So feet are wide. Ideally, your legs are your feet are parallel to the short edges of your mat. This is called Pasalita Parattanasana. Squeeze your elbow heads in so you feel this smile in your collarbone. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, hinge forward, halfway. forward fold and bow. Just have your hands on your hips. If you feel like you're going to lose your balance, drop your hands to the floor. Otherwise, hands on the hips, squeezing the elbow heads in towards each other. 2 more cycles of breath. Shift the weight forward. Notice if you're sitting in the heels, feel the pressure down through all 10 toes. Squeeze the elbows in. 1 more cycle of breath. Pressing down to inhale, lift yourself all the way up. Exhale here. Float the arms wide. Inhale. I'm going to move into triangle pose. Put a bend into your right knee and rotate the foot. Straighten the leg. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, hand on the shin. Pause here, lift up. That's it. Have a look at your back foot. Pick it up and press it to the back edge of the mat. Spin the chest. Press down to lift up, look up. That's it. 3 more cycles of breath. I like to put a little bend in my knee and then lift the muscles up to stop me pressing back into the knee joints. And inhale, lift. Put a bend into the front knee. This is warrior 2. Maybe you're going to walk the back foot back. Flip the palms. Hand to back thigh. Lift up. Imagine you're touching the ceiling as you sink into the front thigh. Squeeze your right knee over to the right. And 1 more cycle of breath. Inhale. Straighten the front knee. Rebend, parallel the foot. Good, hands behind the back. Clasp the hands. Now if this is challenging, you could grab a strap or a towel, hand towel, a tea towel, whatever you've got. Inhale, lift the chest. Forward fold and bow. Exhale. So just stay here, 5 cycles of breath. And again, have a look at your feet. Spread the toes. Drop the head. Look up between the thighs. That's it. Find Ujjayri Pranayama. The lovely soft whisper in the back of the throat. And make it audible so you can listen and learn to the breath. 1 more cycle of breath here. Keeping the hands where they are, lifting yourself all the way up. And release the hands. Put a bend into your left knee, rotate the foot. Inhale, straighten the legs as you float the arms up. Exhale, hinge forward, hand on the shin. Again, if you've got blocks, you'll put the block on the outside of the right. I have the block touching my outer calf or the back foot. And you could press down to spin and lift these bottom ribs up as the top ribs roll down. That's it. Notice what's happening to your head. If your head is like kind of low, rolling forwards, press your head back as you spin the chest, lift up, look up. If you've got pain in your neck, look down at your left big toe. That's it. Hug the belly in. Press down to lift up. Imagine you could touch the ceiling with this top hand. And inhale, lifting yourself all the way up. Put a bend into your left knee. Transitioning through warrior 2. Maybe walk the back foot. Flip the palms. Lift up. Not bent elbow reaching back, but lift up. And then you bend into this front knee. Sharpen the back leg. Find the outer edge of your back foot. And your hand is pressing into the thigh, and the thigh is lifting into the hand. And inhale. Lift yourself up. Rebend the knee. And then walk, step, or jump the feet together. Tree pose. Sukhasana. So standing on your left foot, draw the right knee towards the chest. So before actually, we start, there are 3 options with tree pose. Tree pose can be ankle to ankle. So we're just turning the knee out because this is an external rotation in your right hip. It can be sole of the foot to the calf muscle, never on the knee, even though sometimes that's where we end up. If it's on the knee, slide it down to your calf. Otherwise, grab the knee, open the leg wide. I like to grab the ankle, inhale, lift, and then exhale, press the heel into the inner thigh. And you can keep your hand there until you've found your balance, but I always rebend the standing leg, the knee, and then hug the hip in. Even sometimes I put my hand on my hip to remind me to hug it in, and then maybe you're gonna bring the hands of prayer. Good, roll the shoulders down, hug the belly in. So nice, yogis, a single point of focus. Now, if this is really easy for you, maybe play with closing your eyes. Just feel the sway in the trunk of the body. Notice any sensations. Maybe you're feeling it in your ankles or your calf muscles, or you just let me know in the comments below where you're feeling it. Inhale, float the prayer. Exhale, open wide. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, open wide. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, draw the knee to center. And place the foot down. Just pedal it through. We'll do the other side. Standing on the right foot. Remember, ankle to ankle. Or hand around the shin. Inhale. Exhale. Slide the hand down. Inhale. Exhale. Press the heel into the thigh and the thigh into the heel as you bring the heels of the hands together. And press the heels of the hands together the same way you're squeezing the thigh into the heel. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, a little bend into the standing knee as you hug the right hip in. And this could feel very different on this side, so just tune in and notice how you feel. Maybe the balance is not as good on this side, or maybe you're feeling much stronger. The trick is to keep the big toe plugging down. This is going to help you keep the balance. And what I see all the time is when the toe lifts up, that's kind of when you fall backwards or come out of the balance, come out of the pose. Inhale, stay with me. Don't worry if you need to come out. Exhale, open the arms wide. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open wide. Just connecting to breath and movement. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands of prayer. Inhale, draw the knees through center. Exhale, both feet on the floor. Step to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step into downward facing dog. Lift up and back. Inhaling here. Exhale, drop the knees to the floor. Swing the legs to the side, and we're going to lower all the way down onto our buttocks. Inhaling, just lowering down vertebrae by vertebrae. Exhale, hands behind the head. Inhale, head on the floor. Exhale, lift the shoulders. Just a whisper of core work here. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. So in yoga, as in life, we want the core to be strong. Inhale, lower. Squeeze the air out of the belly as we exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Good. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift up, stay up. Pause here and just hold. 5, you count it. Inhale, lower. Yogi cycle. Hands behind the head, right knee to left elbow, extend the left leg straight. So just meet me here. Inhale here, lift your right elbow up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So having a nice strong core is going to help transform your practice. Inhaling, exhaling. I've got 3 more on each side. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Feet on the floor. Inhale. Lower down, exhale. So we have options here. Bridge pose. If you're fortunate enough to have some blocks at home, you could lift up on any level and be just like this. Otherwise, robot arms, press down through the backs of the arms. My inner elbows are grazing my waist. Press down through the feet. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 3 more. Inhale, lift. This is really good exercise for firing up your gluteus maximus, which is your butt muscles. It's also good for squeezing the pelvic floor. Last one. We're going to lift up, stay up, press through your big toes, inhale, lift. Some of you are going to keep robot arms. Some of you are going to grab the edges of the mat. If your shoulders are tight, try and roll them under here just a smidge. Others, if you've got a bit more mobility in your shoulders, roll them under. Press down through the big toes to lift your thighs, your hips. Press down through the back of the arms to lift and breathe into your chest. Squeeze the outer knees in. 2 more cycles of breath. Remember, you can come down and out of the pose at any point. And inhaling here. Exhale, release the hands if they were bound. Lower down. Pause here. Bring the arms into T-shape or cactus. And inhale, draw the knees. Drop both knees over to the right. Exhale, pause. And now, as much as you can, snuggle those knees up towards your right elbow. As you inhale, look straight up. Or exhale, look back to your left elbow. So we're neutralizing your spine after the back bends, but this is also wonderful for your gut health, for aiding digestion, lengthening and strengthening your back spine. And inhale, come back through center. And then drop both knees over to the left. Snuggle those knees. Oh, I've got a little crack. That's what I love about the twist. You get all these wonderful adjustments, and energetically you're pressing this top hip away from these bottom ribs. Inhale, either look straight up or exhale, look back to the right. Good, just stay with the breath. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. One more cycle of breath wherever you are. And inhale with the knees. Hands on the back of the thighs. And a little rock and roll. This is wonderful for massaging every vertebrae of your spine. Think of it as lubricating. It's wonderful for your spinal health. Come all the way up. Dandasana. This is a seated pose. If your hamstrings are tight, just bend your knees, flex your feet. Palms to the floor. If the palms don't reach, maybe cupcake fingers, or put your hands on blocks. And we're rolling the shoulders down, pressing down to lift up as you hug the belly in. Dandasana is the blueprint of all seated poses. So every seated pose is stemmed from the foundation pose is this pose. Good, just stay here, breathe in, press your head back so your chin draws in, roll the shoulders down. Inhale, arms up. If your hamstrings are tight, you're going to bend the knees and just land wherever you land. That's it. Don't get caught up about what it looks like. Notice how it feels. And you could just be here. Inhale, lift, and then maybe tiptoeing fingers forward, but knees bent is great if your hamstrings are tight, and most of us have tight hamstrings. 2 more cycles of breath. Think about what's going on in the back of the neck. Roll the shoulders down, lift up through the crown of the head. Maybe you could slide your heels forward any amount, the inner thighs are rolling down. 1 more cycle of breath. Put both hands underneath your right knee. Inhale, bend the knee. So this is like a seated tree pose. So I even come into it the same way I come into tree pose when I'm standing up. So I hug the ankle, I bring the sole of the foot to the inner thigh. Hands on the ribs, flex your left foot. So I'm steering my ribs to the extended leg, both arms up. Exhale, forward, fold and bow. And again, we're all going to be at different levels here. This hamstring is speaking to you, bend the knee. That's it. You could even snuggle the ribs onto the thigh here. Some of you might be able to catch the foot. If you've got a strap or a belt, you could put your strap around the foot. So just stay here. There's a subtle twist here, and you're spinning these right ribs towards your left thigh and the left knee. Inhale, lift. Maybe you can create a bit more space in the body. This knee is pressing down and away from the hip. 3 more cycles of breath. And last cycle of breath here. How's that Ujjayri breath going? And I hope you found that helpful, explaining the breath. Let me know in the comments below if you did. Inhale, help the knee up. Think about how you come in and out of the poses. Bring your right hand behind you. And again, you could put your hand on a block if it's challenging to meet the floor. Bring the floor to meet your hand. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, rotate. So if this is challenging in your body, you could just bring the left elbow and snuggle it and start taking the twist this way. But we're turning, rolling the shoulder down, lifting up, and then just looking back. So some of us are hugging the knee, some of us, and when you bring the elbow, I like draw the elbow in towards the left. Press down, lift up, and then exhale, rotate here. Inhale, flex your left foot. Exhale, turn and allow yourself to go a little deeper. And 1 more cycle of breath. Shavasana is near. You've done so well. And release. Good. Straighten the leg. Other side. Bend your left knee. I'm just going to spin around so you can see. Bend your left knee. Inhale. Slide the left hand down. Exhale. And if there's pain in your knee, you need some support, you're going to put a block there. These blocks, I swear, 30 years of practicing, and I use the blocks every time I practice. They're the best investment ever. Spin your ribs to the straight leg. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, land wherever you land. Some of you are bending the knee here. This feels really good. Find your subtle twist. Inhale, lift, spin the ribs. And it maybe you're like doing what I'm doing. Put your hand on your left ribs and slightly spin them. You'll feel this. Inhale, lift, tiptoe the fingers forward, any amount. Reflex the right foot. Lengthen through both sides of the neck and just stay here and breathe into the pose. Whatever you're feeling, wherever it feels tight, focus the exhale into where it feels tight. Just creating a little bit more space, a little bit more ease. And just know you're exactly where you're meant to be. And honor yourself for being here. Don't worry about what everything looks like. Notice how it feels in your body. One more cycle of breath. Walk the hands back. Help your knee up. Inhale. Exhale here. Left hand behind. Use the block if you need to. Some of you are just hugging the knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, rotate. Reflex your right foot. When you're thinking about a lot, what happens is this foot will go a little soft, and that's why I cue all of this, is so that you're like, oh yeah, the right foot. Okay, there's a lot to think about when you're new to yoga. Inhale, lift. Exhale, rotate. Find Ujjayri pranayama. And one more cycle of breath here. And exhale, rotate. You ready for Shavasana? I better say, yes, Debbie. Can't wait. Bend your knees. Lower yourself all the way down. If you've got lower back issues, take the feet as wide as the mat and just let the knees drop in exactly how we started. And you could take Shavasana with the knees bent and the feet on the floor just like this. And there's a little rolling of the shoulders under, so there's a subtle lift in the heart. Your palms are facing up, so you're in a position of receiving. And then feet as wide as the mat. We let go of the practice by letting go of the breath. Take an inhale through the nose. Side out, exhale. Inhaling through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. And just surrender. Try not to scratch and itch and wriggle around. Allow the body to be still and try and move through any fidgeting. Some people find Shavasana the hardest pose of all because it's where they have to be still. And for some people's body, being still is very challenging. So just notice how you're feeling. But to me, this is the most important pose of all, because this is where all the energy that you cultivated throughout the practice, this is where it resonates in your body. This is where you feel the effects of the practice. It just allows you to stop before you start and get on with your day or seal in the day. Now you could turn the screen off here and just stay in Shavasana. It's a wonderful way of self-care and looking after yourself and just allowing yourself to be still. Otherwise you can follow my cueing and just bringing yourself up. Wriggle fingers and toes. Lifting arms up and over the head. Take a full body stretch here. Inhaling through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. Flex your feet. Change the hook of the thumbs. Inhaling through the soles of the feet, up the thighs. Open mouth, exhale. Draw the knees into the chest. Squeeze it all in. Maybe lift the knee to the nose. And rolling to the side. And pressing down to come all the way up. Keep the eyes closed. And we're back right where we started, coming full circle. Let's seal in all the magic today that we've created, bowing chin to chest in gratitude. And let's finish by focusing on what is really good in our life right now, attitude of gratitude. Think of 3 things you are extremely grateful for in this present moment. Bring the prayer to third eye. Namaste, humbly bow. And we're back. I hope you enjoyed your practice. Please leave me some feedback in the comments below. If you'd like some more level 1 classes, let me know and I will create some more for you. But remember to subscribe and click the bell. Namaste.